When you said you were running for office, you were focused on America.
I was focused on the world. You know, what I believe is, as the president of the United States, I can do more for Africa than I can do for Africa being a president in Africa. I seriously believe that, and that's why I considered it very, very much. And then recently I just said, you know what, I want to focus and drop more music, because once I become president, I can never put out another album again. I'm going to miss too much of that part. So I said, before I do that, let me just get it all out musically. Let me get it all out, and then by that time I'll be a lot older, I'll be a lot more relaxed and chill. Then I can do the presidential thing.
So you actually believe you can get elected?
I honestly 1,000% believe I can get elected if I run.
You believe, for example, that Kanye West has the same mind when he says he wants to run for office in 2024?
I think if Kanye runs, he has a big chance. Honestly, if he runs, he's going to be probably one of the runner-ups. Because again, like I said, he's a celebrity, and he doesn't think like a normal person. He thinks outside the box. And America love that. They love people that don't think normal, they don't think like a politician, that don't remind you of someone in office. And Kanye is just like that. He's like the black version of Trump. So he just might win.
So would you like consider running against him, or maybe like doing like a collaboration to get you two guys on top?
Yeah, if I was to run at the same time Kanye's running, I would have a conversation with him to be my running mate, or I'd be his running mate. But it would definitely be collaborative, or I would never compete against him, because it would delete his chances of winning, and also might even affect my chances of winning. But I think collectively together, we could make a powerful group.
In 2015 for Al Jazeera, you said that America was never built for black people. Mm-hmm. So it is would you say that it is something that you still think today in almost 2020? And how can you change this if you become president of the U.S.?
It's the fact. You know, America wasn't built for black people. It's true. I mean, it's no secret. You see that now, even with Trump's administration, just how much we are separated, and all minorities in America are separated. That's nothing you can change overnight in America. And me, 2 terms of presidency will never change that, because it's too much of history. But all you can do is create opportunities for African Americans to see that this is a country that you don't belong in. So I'm going to make it easier for Americans, African Americans specifically, to go back to Africa. I wouldn't be surprised if I become president and ship them all back to Africa. America would love that. But what would it do? It would give them so much more power, and it would allow them to understand their true root, their true value, their true worth. And they would definitely be a lot better off. And they won't know that until something like that happens. A drastic change has to happen for them to understand that.
So your particular program is to, to make Trump supporters happy by saying, I will get rid of black people for you,
I'll do it for you for free.
All back to Africa.
I give everybody $1 million and send them back home. And I guarantee you they'll be happy.
So you think black people would be happier in a way in Africa than in the U.S.?
African Americans would be so much more happier in Africa, but they don't know that because they've never been. And that's the sad part, because they put so much fear in African Americans history-wise and currently about Africa that most of them are afraid to go to Africa.
Do you know the rapper Shaq West from New York?
Yeah.
His parents sent him back to Senegal at one point when he was doing bad in school, mm-hmm. to teach him a lesson and to teach him where he came from. Do you think it's something that American parents should do more often with their kids, to remind them where who they are?
I think it would be a great tool, but the problem is their parents are even afraid to go to Africa. African American parent, man, listen, in America, when you mention Africa, they start shaking. Everybody's so afraid of Africa because they did such a great job in brainwashing African Americans when it comes to Africa. So it's one of those things where you almost have to just let time come, let the generation, the diaspora, slowly educate them to get them mindset back to wanting to go back.
Yo, what's good, people? We back. Had to come through, man. Had to come through because this clip of Akon that you saw in the beginning is, I guess you would say going viral again. And it's, kind of convenient, especially right around the time when, the whole discussion of Cam saying that he don't want to be called no African American, he's a black American, right? Now you see this, because this interview was from 4 years ago, so this is an old clip. that's going viral. And it was like, to me, it was majorly egregious. It was majorly egregious. You know, Akon has been on this stick for a long time of sending black people in America, African Americans, black Americans. He want all of us to go back to Africa. And keep saying, go back home. Going back home. You know what I'm saying? And my whole thing, like, you know, when Burna Boy said that, it sounded so egregious to me because, like, you knew to us, and you telling me, I don't know where I'm from. I need to go to where you from, but you came over here, and you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure you don't want to leave here, but you're doing your thing now. So, it's a couple of things that I'm seeing with the story here. Now, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Akon was working. If there was some deal that was laid down, like, yo, get the Negroes back to Africa. Because, listen, America has been on this shit for a long time. They've been on this back since Abraham Lincoln. They've been trying to get us back to Africa. Or to go to Africa. Because we never been. You know what I'm saying? You want to send us to Africa. And I'm wondering if this is like the instead of reparations, they just want to send us to Africa. You know what I'm saying? Because with them getting all these new people, the new illegal immigrants in, they're going to be here to stay. Like, I don't see them, like, with them getting deported and all that. Like, even if things change and all of a sudden there got to be some mass deportation, it ain't going to happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen over a course of years, and children will be born over those course of years, so they will be U.S. citizens. So it's going to be freaky and nasty. So basically, you got all this new batch of black, you know, these illegal immigrants. That's the new slave class. That they can pay them, like, listen, I pay you. They'll go get a job at home. You know, they'll be lined up in front of Home Depot. You can get them $20 to put a roof on your house. Like, that's better. Like, that's better than what you can. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect. I'm just saying that's what it will be. So this whole getting black people back to Africa, I'm getting spooky now. I'm getting spooked about this. Like, I give them all $1 million and send them back to Africa. Give me $1 million and get, like, to me that's like I'm just aware of the foreign scams and the foreign setups. Like, you give me $1 million and I go back to Africa, and then as soon as I get the $1 million and get to Africa, it just so happens that every house on the market now costs $800,000. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not ignorant and believe this everywhere in Africa is filled with flies and everything. Like, no, I know that there's nice places in Africa, but I don't think that if you send 50 million people from the United States over to Africa, that there's going to be places for them. You get what I'm saying? So I think this is a very serious setup. This is a very, very serious setup, and I'm starting to get weary about this because it's picking up steam. Like, why you want to send me to Africa, my nigga? Like, I ain't never been to Africa. I ain't no disrespect. I ain't scared of Africa. I want to go to Africa one day. You know what I'm saying? But I want to go there and visit because I'm not from Africa. You know what I'm saying? I'm not from there, and that's not home to me. That's never been home to me. I mean, I don't know. I need to really know the benefits of what I get going to Africa. To me, I won't know the real freedom. I won't know the real freedom and the true essence. And all. Like, listen, no, that sounds cute, but that sounds great. But what's going to happen when I get to Africa? You get what I'm saying? Like, when I get to Africa, do I get a 14-bedroom house? Freshly brand new house, and do I get all the cars that I want to buy? Like, now, do Ferraris cost like $12,000 over there? You know what I'm saying? Like, do Ferrari trucks cost like $8,000 or something? Like, what is the real benefit of me going to Africa? We need to know that. Why? Because we coming from America. We do business. So like, don't just tell me go to Africa and sit up. So like, no, come on, dog. Stop disrespecting me, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like yo, I ship them all. I would ship them all back. And then he said, "Oh, I bet people would love that." Cause trust me, they would love that because a lot of freaky nasty white people believe that this is their country because Benjamin Franklin was their grandfather, or they so the claim. Because listen, there's a lot of nasty white people that will tell you like, oh, George Jefferson, or not George Jefferson, but Thomas Jefferson was my eighth uncle. Like, yeah, I'm not going for none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going for that. A lot of them would tell you, so a lot of people would tell me that. Somebody told me that before. I'm like, come on, dog. How Thomas Jefferson was your eighth uncle and you over here? You know what I'm saying? And you poor white trash. You're not rich. And you the eighth uncle. You supposed to get richer and richer each generation. If that's the case. So, I mean, this whole go sending black people to Africa there's something really freaky and nasty about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even really talking about what he talking about running with Kanye as president, because that's freaky and nasty. Why would you run with, like, what are you going to do? You tell Kanye to take care of the black Americans and you take care of the Africans. Like, that sounds nasty and weird. So I don't want to talk about that. But you can't, like, he's been on this campaign for about a decade now. And like, you can't just keep sending African Americans to send them all back to Africa. Because at this point, it sounds like you got a plan set up, either a deal made with China, or somebody. You got a deal made to get as many black people back to Africa, and it's going to benefit you. And I keep saying back to Africa. We'll get them to Africa. Cause they wasn't born in Africa. They're not from Africa. That's why it's a game and a scam. If I wasn't, because I'm not born in Africa, and you get me to go to another country, it's a plus for you. I'm not from there. I'm not born there. There's no record of me being there. You know what I'm saying? And there's so much that Africa would have to do to catch up to the things that black Americans are used to at whatever level that you would say. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a bunch of illegal immigrants come from Africa, come to America, and then all the black people in America send them to Africa. Like, what you want to do a trade? Like, they basically, like, I really think it's a slavery thing where he's trying to say, like, let the people from Africa, let them be the new slaves, and then you go to Africa and be free with nothing. Ain't shit over there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta build whatever you want over there. You know what I'm saying? You gotta build the Starbucks over there. Ain't no Starbucks. You gotta build the Starbucks over there, but it'll be yours though. And then we'll send the illegal immigrants. We'll go give them your house that you used to live in, but we're just gonna pay them at really low wages. You know, and really work them to death. Because these illegal immigrants, they're gonna work them to death. You know what I'm saying? They want to get everything out of them. You know, and then you keep trying to tell me, America was never built for black people. Africa wasn't built for us either. Or else we would have been over there. Or else there would have been a boat or a kayak or something that come over and save us centuries ago if Africa was meant for us. You know what I'm saying? If Africa was really meant for us, I'm not saying Africa wasn't built, but of course it wasn't built. Yeah, it wasn't built for us. Because if it was, we would have been there. So I'm just not going for a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, you really got to break it down to me. They keep pushing. You see in the media, not in the media, but a lot of articles you see. Black Americans are flocking to Ghana. Or really, yeah, you wrote one article. Let's do a follow-up article on that shit. What's going on now? They don't want to do that. So we just need to really hear about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? How can we benefit? I mean, I just want to see, like, what's your presentation going to be, because it ain't going to change my mind. But I want to see what your presentation is, because you just saying that it's really disrespectful to me. There's no disrespect to Akon. There's disrespect to his presentation. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go and get out of here on this one, man. I'm out.